Hey folks, it's Chad here with Airstream of Greensboro. It's a beautiful day here in North Carolina, and behind me I have the most adorable travel trailer that Airstream currently makes. It happens to also be the most affordable travel trailer that Airstream makes. And so today we are going to find out what makes the 2024 Bambi 16RB special, with a walk around of the inside, the outside, the top, the bottom, and figure out everything there is that makes this special. We're also going to see the new improvements for 2024 starting now. All right, folks, so we're going to jump to the inside of the super cute Bambi 16RB. Now, this is going to be, as far as the travel trailer line, Airstream's smallest, lightest weight travel trailer they make. And this is, I say travel trailer because if you think about the base camp, that's really going to be more in the teardrop world as opposed to a true travel trailer. This has got, you know, a proper dinette, proper bed that you're not having to make into a bed. Now this one's a wet bath, granted, but it is a true travel trailer, and it's also got that iconic shell design, the aluminum design that Airstream is known for. So this is the lightest, the smallest Airstream you can get currently, and like I said in the intro, it's also the most affordable. Now the Bambi, there's a few things about the Bambi that Airstream changes to make this, as I mentioned, one of the lightest weight travel trailers that they can make. And one of those things right off the bat is going to be the steel step. Now that's a similar step that you're going to see used in the base camp. The other thing is you're not going to have that aluminum screen that goes here or the cross bit that goes right there. Now we sell that out of our parts department here at Airstream of Greensboro. We have those parts generally in stock. So if you get a Bambi, you want to have that protection there, especially for either kids or pets. We can add that for you. It's very simple. We can do it the day that you pick up. Now we're going to have a true deadbolt here. Now the deadbolt is a little deadbolt there. Now that one, you've got to lock that from the outside with a key, but you can lock this inside lock here from the inside and then close the door. You can lock it and close it and it will lock. It also can lock you out. So you want to make sure as you're opening this to always push that out. That way, you know, when you close it, you're not going to accidentally lock yourself out, because it will kind of slide its way over as you're shutting the door. Now there is a new screen mechanism for the 2024 model year, as you can see there. It's a little bit different. I'm not going to say it's better. It's just, it's new. It's a change, and you know, it works and it latches right there. Now the door here, it takes Airstream, they say on average, 8 hours to build and assemble this door in-house. One of the Airstream artisans assembles this door and builds it. They also build this screen door to go with it. So it's built to kind of marry against this door, which does mean that when you shut the door, you want to shut these together. You don't want to shut the door itself onto the screen with the screen already closed. But on a nice day like today, it's actually a little warm, so maybe not today, you can close that screen door and then have a nice breeze coming through the door, as well as your windows. And that's part of why that is there. And one of the things I do like to point out, and I do this in every video, so if you watch my videos, I know there's a lot of you that are coming back, and I really appreciate it. And I'm very thankful for you guys. And I always like to show the welds, just because of how well the welds are, or how consistent the welds always are when they make these door frames and they build these doors. And I feel like that just is a testament to Airstream's quality and design. So as we step in, of course I am going to close the door because it is a nice summer day here in North Carolina. We're going to have the fire extinguisher directly to our left. We're also going to have a little bit of storage underneath the dinette up here in the front. Now to me, this is a very international design style here for the dinette. Now the other side is more flying cloud, which is kind of funny, the two put together. But you have this drawer that does pull out here directly in the front for some storage underneath that dinette. But then you've got that really cool aluminum design that, again, really reminds me of the International. And then we've got a little bit of storage there. You can kick your shoes off into there, have a spot to store those things. As we step up, we are going to have some hangers right here. And we of course have the whiteboard that seems like every Airstream is going to come with some magnets, a little marker. Now I've got the AC currently running, and this is the Dinette AC. We did get an AC change with Flying Cloud International. If you haven't seen that video, I'll link that above. You can jump in and see that. I've got this on high because it's hot and I wanted this unit to be cooled down. What I am going to do though is I'm going to turn it down to the lowest fan setting and see the difference so you guys can see or maybe hear the difference of the AC sound. It is a louder AC because it's just a drop-in AC, very similar to what we see in the base camp. We have that in the Bambi, so it's not ducted. The Caravelle is going to be a ducted AC. The older Quiet Stream, the full line of dual axles have been upgraded to the new shell with the new AC filter system. Again, watch that video if you haven't seen that, but you're going to have the just drop in. So this is going to be a little bit louder just day to day. That's just the way this is, but that's part of what's going to bring us down in the price point. Now, coming in directly, we're going to have this really nice dinette that seats 4 right there, and above that dinette we've got some storage, of course some speakers right there. We're going to have our kitchen area here with a microwave and 12-volt refrigerator. It does have a 2-burner propane stovetop right there. We have a nice sink here with a residential faucet, and then of course we could use this as a cutting board as well if you would like to. And then one of the other changes you're going to find with the Bambi versus the Caravelle, and probably, you know, it's one of the things that makes the price difference. This is going to be a window that that Airstream buys and installs, as opposed to the windows that Airstream builds and installs on the Caravelle and then going up. We're also going to have our actually I'm going to turn this AC off because it's a little loud. We've got our propane hot water heater control right here. Then we're going to have our sea level. Now the Bambi is going to have a combined black and gray tank. So we're just going to have one indicator for the black tank. That's also going to be your gray tank, and then your fresh water, and then battery. Above that is going to be the optional 100-watt solar system package if you decide to get that. Now with 2024 model year, we can do either no solar but pre-wired, solar with 100 watts, and then solar plus 2 lithium batteries from Battleborn, so 200 amp hours of batteries. Now as far as your color choices, you're going to have 2 options for colors with the Bambi, and really what's going to change is this cushion color. We've got this really nice kind of gray, light gray, and then you have also a blue option as well. Now I'll put those up on the screen so you can see them. Now one of my favorite things is this drawer in here. It's just so cleverly designed to fit this space. You know, we've got to use every bit of space that we can use. The sink is down there. So you have your silverware organizer right here. It's nice and deep, so you can put plenty of silverware in there. Then there's a little bit extra storage around that. You've got your sponge holder right here as well. Below there, we are going to have the microwave, and this is just a microwave. It's not going to be a convection like we can get on the Caravelle. That's an option on the Caravelle. The Bambi is not an option. And then we're going to have a little bit more storage right there below. And while we're here, we'll go ahead and check out our Nova Cool 12-volt refrigerator. It's already, I've only had this plugged in for maybe an hour, and it's already cooled down really well. So we've got some shelves there. You got a spot for a few eggs right there. And then there is a freezer compartment right there. And a little bit of storage. Yep. Put a few things in there. Remember, the Bambi is designed to be a weekend getaway vehicle, not a necessarily full-time vehicle. I could see people doing full-timing, but I don't think that's going to be the way that it's used. Now, there's a really good shot of the dinette area. And of course, I am going to turn that into a bed and show you what that looks like. Now, your battery disconnect is right here. And you just switch that to off or to on. It is a true disconnect. It's completely disconnecting the battery from the system. There's not any storage under this. That's going to be some of your components. That's your pack right there. We're just kind of hiding it there. There's a little bit of extra storage back there as well, not being utilized. Above the dinette, we're going to have a new radio for the 2024 model year. I think it's appropriate on the Bambi. I also saw this on the International. Wasn't a fan of it there. Now they moved the power for the HD antenna to in here. So that switch to turn that on and off is going to be right there. And then there's a nice little spot to have anything you want to store up there. Now on the Bambi, there is not an HDMI cable port coming from this front section to the back. This is just going to be a USB connected to the back of the radio. So if you want to control or have anything plugged into your TV back here, you're going to have to do that in this area. Now this is supposed to be the new smart TV, 12 volt TV that Airstream has been including. There's plenty of HDMIs in here and a nice flat spot right there. So if you wanted to Velcro an Apple TV here or a Roku, you could easily do that, I think. And there is a power plug right there. Now the Bambi does not come with an inverter. And again, that's another one of those things that Airstream is doing to reduce the cost, or reduce the price, I should say, of the Bambi. So there's no inverter in here. Of course, that is something you could add yourself if you want to. I do love these sliding doors on the Bambi. I just think they look so cool. I know this is a very inexpensive door to make, and that's why Airstream's opted to use that in the Bambi. But I think it looks so cool. It looks the part for Airstream. And then above the kitchen area, we're also going to have some more of that storage with those same doors. So good storage right there in the kitchen area. Plenty of storage for your weekend getaway vehicle. And of course, with this being such a small vehicle, you could tow this with just about anything. There's also a curtain that will come out, and it comes all the way out to kind of hide the bathroom and bedroom area and the closet as well, to give you a spot to be able to change in if you do have someone here that you don't want to change in front of. And then right in this area is going to be our wardrobe. So we do have a wardrobe bar going across. Of course, we do have the light. That's your pack there with all the goodies, including the backup camera monitor in there. And then of course we do get a trash can that is stored right there. There's also an access panel right there to get into something down there that's not a storage area. They just made it very convenient to be able to get to that area to be able to work on anything that you might need to work on. Now, spinning all the way around, again, this is only a 16-foot vehicle, so there's not a ton of stuff for me to show, or like even to get far enough back. But this is going to be your wet bath. It's an all-in-one bathroom, so your commode and your shower is in one spot. There's no sink in there. That's your sink for the bathroom, the kitchen sink there. I do think it's very well designed for this space. There's also an opening up here to allow air to get in. Now you do have an exhaust fan that's actually running. We turn that off. So you just pull this little thing here forward, push that up, and there's a little button right there. And that will help exhaust the steam out as you're taking your shower. The other thing, there is a window in here, which is really nice to have that window there to bring some light into the bathroom. Although I don't think you want to have that open while you're using the bathroom, but it's there. And of course, it has a little spot to close that blind. There is a little toilet paper, waterproof holder right there. There's a nice spot to store all your soaps and shampoos and things. There is a shower curtain for this back section right here to go across there. I'm guessing they don't want you to get water either on the window or on the aluminum. And then there's another curtain across for the front here, and that is for the door. Now I am going to step inside. Let's see. That it is a plastic commode for the Bambi. That will be one of your other changes because it is a porcelain in the Caravelle. So let me step into the shower. I know you guys love for me to get inside these bathrooms, these showers. So now I was just in the RAI 20X, and that video will probably post before this one. And that shower was definitely bigger than this one all the way around. The base camp's also a taller vehicle, so there's more headroom there. And I'm 5'9", and I've got, you know, a few inches there, maybe an inch, probably 2 inches, inch and a half, 2 inches of room. So you could be taller and get in here. And I do have shoes on right now as well, so I'm adding, you know, there's another inch there. So there is a good amount of room in here. Now you've got the removable shower head that you can use to take a shower, which is really nice. It has the on-off switch as well. So you are able to stop that while you're taking a shower. And with a combined tank, you're going to want to conserve water. And then there is a really nice medicine cabinet, which really nice. I mean, it's a medicine cabinet. It's definitely something, you know, Airstream purchased to put in here. But it's nice to have a true mirror to be able to see yourself as you're getting ready. And then let's check out the commode. There's plenty of room I mean, the only thing I'm not a fan of is this curtain kind of hanging here. You know, it needs a place to go. Like there needs to be a strap right here. Like there needs to be a strap right here to strap this up so it's out of the way when you're not using it. Now there's a strap over here. I'm guessing that's for this one. Strap right there. So I mean, that would be an easy thing to add on, like something like this right there to hold that up. Otherwise, it's plenty big. You could totally accidentally turn the water on you. I mean, I guess not accident. You'd have to actually turn the faucet on. But there is some Velcro right here to hold the curtain in place, which is nice. The same thing is true here. So I guess you can try to Velcro that. There you go. Who needs a holder when there's Velcro? Perfect. There we go. Solved the problem using the Velcro that Airstream installed. No, I think it works. So it's a wet bath, right? You have to decide if this is going to be okay for you for what it is. Now, to me, for a weekend getaway, I have no problems with that. That's going to be just fine. But it may not be right for you. And if it's not, there's 3 other Bambi floor plans to choose from that don't have wet baths, right? Now, one of the other changes we got for 2024 is going to be these new LED lights. Circular light there. And then I also noticed that it was in the bathroom right there. And we also got the switch that has been in the Caravelle moved down to the Bambi. This one here. Now the trick to turn this on and off is just to tap it. And then you're supposed to be able to kind of swipe up and get it to dim. I can't ever get it to work right. I don't know why I'm not capable of doing that, but that is the case. The switch for the bathroom, if you're wondering when you come in your first time, is actually over here. That's the switch for the bathroom right there. And then that's your overhead light for the bed area. Now the air conditioner, all your controls for that are going to be right here, as opposed to somewhere on the wall. That is the way it will be in the Caravelle, but not in the Bambi. And then your furnace control is going to be right there. And it's kind of an old school control that you're probably only going to see this type of controller in an RV. But that's what they give us in the Bambi. And then there's some more storage above the Bambi, which should be the same storage that's in the front. Yeah, it is the same storage we have up front. So we have that also going across the back. And if I remember correctly, there is a storage locker below the bed with a bunch of bins. Yep. And it's still there. So you got all of those bins right there from Airstream. They do come from Airstream. And then you can also access this lower storage area from outside. And I'll show you that in a second. Now there's your furnace there. It's just one outlet. For this size camper, that will be very sufficient. And then over here, we're going to have our power panel that will have our 12 volt and 110. This is also going to be set up for lithium by default from the factory. So if you're not choosing to not put lithium in, which is, I could see that being the case in a Bambi, you're going to want to make sure that the dealership changes the charge profile for both the solar and the converter to be for AGM or for lithium, whatever, or lead acid, whatever it might be that you decide to get. Now, let me see if I can get a good position of the bed. Let's see here. There we go. There, perfect. Zoom in a little bit. Okay. All right, let me try out the bed for you guys. Now, I am going to move some of the pillows. There's so many pillows. My wife and I, we are not pillow people. We don't have all of the decorative pillows. So let me just kind of lay down in here and get an idea. Yeah, I could take a nap here. Yeah, there's plenty of room. This is a very long bed. Because it's basically 8 foot. This is an 8 foot chassis, 8 foot across. So it's basically 8 foot. The biggest thing I'm noticing is, it's not a wide. It's not a wide bed. So, depending on your size, you may want a bigger bed. Again, to me, this is a weekend getaway vehicle. So, I'm not looking for this to be an apartment. I'm looking for it to be a weekend, something I can just get away, be in nature, be a part of the world, experience campgrounds that I may not otherwise experience because I got an awesome RV. And it's a great way to jump into the Airstream world, be a part of the community, be a part of the clubs. I wanted to show how the TV can come all the way around so you're able to watch that from the dinette if you'd like to. And then, you know, you can push that back and make it, you know, almost dead center of the bed area if you'd like to do that as well. And that is your awning rod right there, and then that's the rod for putting down the stabilizers. Now this back window here, the only part of this window that's going to open for air is right down there. So that is something that you do want to take consideration of when you are buying a Bambi versus maybe a Caravelle. You're going to be able to open that little window there. You'll be able to open that window, and then the big window up front, that whole window opens. And then you do have the max air vent that is right here, the max fan right there, that you can open to pull some air in. But this isn't going to have the those same windows that open almost 90 degrees like what you get in the Caravelle. Now let's see, I think I just need to demonstrate the dinette now. So you'll hear the air running while I'm doing the bed. Now these little back wedges, just to give you enough room to get that out, those are going to come out. Same thing on this side. They can actually stow under the table, and then with the table we're going to lift it up. While we're holding it up, we can go ahead and pull this trigger and push that leg forward, and it's going to lock in place. And now we can pull this around. Now with these particular cushions, you can really just kind of pull it around like that. On this table, that table is small enough that it will kind of just go in there, and then these cushions here are going to go right here in the center. And there's your second bed area. So in worst case scenario, if it were two of you, you could have one person in the bed, and of course, you know, it would probably be the guy, the husband will be over here, or, you know, whatever the case might be, but this would be a good option. Also, you know, if you just have one kid, you know, one kid with you, this would work great. You have two parents there, a kid here. I think they say this sleeps 4, and I could see how you could consider sleeping 2 kids here, smaller, younger kids. Maybe one head that way, one head that way, or side by side. Now for me, this is enough room for me to sleep here. There's just not enough room from side to side. There's plenty of width or length. There's just not enough width here. Now, I will say this is a firm cushion. That's very firm. It's comfortable to sit on, but lay on not so much. The new mattresses is a new 4-layer mattress that Airstream's using with all of the travel trailer lines. Those mattresses I'm finding to be very comfortable. The mattresses are so personal. You know, some people like firm, some people like it really soft. I like my purple mattress. Now, these will go back in place. And I think they are symmetrical, so you can use either one for either side. And then we'll put our cushions back. And the table will come up, and the first thing we're going to do is bring it up and kind of get it in place to latch there in the front of the camper. Pull the leg down and then let it just latch in place, and then we're back to our dinette. Now, one thing I do like about the setup on this dinette, the table is not too wide, so for your larger folks like myself, we fit in here fine. And of course, it's not that far that if you're smaller, like probably most people, you'll fit here too. We could easily fit 4 people here for sure. This is definitely a 4-person dinette, and I like this dinette better than the U-shaped dinette that we see in the 23-foot Flying Cloud Internationals. The problem with those, it needs to be a skinnier thing. It needs to be longer and skinnier to make room for the 8-foot body. But yeah, this is the inside of the Bambi. I'm going to tell you, in a different, like, this is a unit, every time I see this Airstream, I want to buy one. I don't know why. They're just so cool. They're cute. They're easy to use. You could probably put this in a garage. But yeah, so let's jump to the outside and check out the outside of the new Bambi. All right, folks, we're outside now, and we're gonna do a walk around of the outside of the Bambi. Now, you're probably thinking like they all look the same, Chad. Like every Airstream looks like an Airstream except for the base camp, it's different. But the Bambi is still an Airstream. And that's true, but the Bambi is different than really all of your other Airstream travel trailers out there. So let's walk around this one, hang out with me for a little bit. I'm gonna show you the roof as well. And yeah, let's go. So one big change we've got on the Bambi starting this year is a new power ton jack. And really everything now has a power ton jack. The base camps have it, the Bambis have it now, and then of course everything else already had it. Now this is the same 3,500 pound capacity ton jack that we have been using with Airstream, and I'm glad they added this, because if you're not towing this with a truck, like say a F-150 or a 1500, and you're towing it with a SUV, maybe a 4Runner, because this would be a great one to tow with a 4Runner, you're going to still need some type of equalizer hitch, and you're going to want to lift this as high as you can as you're hooking that hitch up. And the old manual, that was a no-go. So we do have the Demco hitching system right there. Now one of the changes on the Bambi, we're not going to have that really nice box that they build. We also didn't even have the room back here to put that box there. So we're going to have a spot for 2 batteries here, but it is a box that's a Camco box that they buy, straps down, and it's kind of a traditional rail system going across. We also have a solar little connection there, so you can add solar if you're wanting to boondock and have a little bit extra, especially with this only having 100 watts. I could really see that being useful. Now it does have a spare tire, just like all Airstreams do, and that connection's right there as far as dropping it down, and you'll just slide it kind of towards you and then take it around and put it on. Now there's the underneath of the Bambi. It is completely enclosed, just like we're used to seeing. Now we're gonna have a different stabilizer on the Bambi here than you're gonna see kind of on the Flying Clouds and so forth. They call those heavy duty. They just call these stabilizers. And then right over here, we are still going to have that quick disconnect propane, low pressure propane, to be able to plug in a grill. Now you do need a special grill that can handle the low pressure that's coming off of that. It's not going to be like you're plugging it directly in, because it's got to go through that whole system. But they do make kits for that, and they do make grills for that. Airstream even has I think it's a Weber that's Airstream branded, that will plug straight into that system and work. Now on the Bambi, one of the things we're not going to get up front is going to be the stainless steel rock guards. Now we still have the solar guards. That's that strong polymer that will protect your windows. We don't have any, we don't have anything protecting this lower aluminum here. Now we sell the rock guard. So if you got a Bambi and you're like, I really want the rock guard, I want that protection, I want that look, whatever it might be, I can put that on for you. We sell those right out of our shop. That whole building right over there is full of all kinds of Airstream goodies. We can sell that to you, not a problem. Oddly enough, we actually have like the largest Airstream parts store outside, I think, Airstream, which is crazy to think that we have that here in Greensboro, but we do. So we do have a lot of things you can get for your Airstream accessories and so forth. And again, you're not going to see that rock guard on this side. Now it does have a 3M sticker. Not sure if I'm going to be able to show that on camera. You can see the line there. So there is a little bit of protection there from bugs and things like that. But if a rock hit that, it is going to definitely dent it. And we have that stainless, or the, not stainless steel, the steel step I talked about earlier. Now this is going to have a shorter awning because it's a shorter camper. But Airstream tries to always give you the longest awning they can possibly give you for that particular floor plane. We also get new wheels for 2024 on the Bambi. You guys tell me what you think. There's kind of a brush aluminum and then raw aluminum accent there. It looks pretty cool. You are going to have the same Dexter axle, but without the damper. So just the axle. Now it does still have the auto adjusting brakes, but this is going to have a traditional bearing system that you need to pack once a year, where the Caravelle and going up has a never lube bearing or a no maintenance bearing. So that's just something to know as we talk about the Bambi. And then you do have that power port right here, so you can plug in anything outside while you have shore power or you're running off of a generator. Now as we move around to the back, I really like the way this looks. just how sleek it is as we go down to the bottom, because there's no bumper there. On the Bambi, there's no bumper. That's one of the changes that we have versus the Caravelle. But it also looks really cool. Now there's a little bit of protection you're not getting there if you have a bit of a bump up. You're going straight into your rear wall there. Ooh, about tripped. But we do still get the standard camera system. You've got all your LED markers. We have that window I talked about before, which is one Airstream buys that and installs it. And then of course the awesome looking Bambi marker. Now the storage out here, for a small unit, the outside storage is just massive because it's all of that storage underneath. There's our power cable right there. Then we've got all those containers that we can pull out. So that's super deep in there. There's even more containers tucked in on that side. So there's a ton of storage, outside storage, that you get on a 16-foot camper with the Bambi. Yeah, single light as well instead of the double light. That's one of your changes for the Bambi. And then moving around, we do have the smart plug, 30 amp smart plug. Now the Bambi is the only one that's not getting the new data port that we're getting on all the other travel trailers. That starts on the Caravelle. So the Caravelle and up, it's going to have that new data port that we can use with Starlink and other things that we might want to use. So or things that can use data. We've got our furnace right there. We've got our tankless hot water heater. That is a Girard hot water heater. And of course it's tankless. It works really good. The only negative to this water heater, I think, is that you have to waste quite a bit of water to get hot water. Every time you turn it off, it kind of turns off, and then once you turn it back on, you've got to wait. It kind of heats up, and then you start getting hot water again. Airstream really needs to put a circulator on this, like they're doing on the REI base camp, and it would fix a lot of the current problems we're having with it. It's a great hot water heater. It's just the fact that you've got to run some water to get it turned on and get hot water. Anyway. Outside shower, hot and cold water right there. We've got a black tank flush. Remember, always use your black tank flush. If you don't use it, you'll lose it. And then you've got your city inlet. So this is going to be connected directly to your faucets. Comes right off of your faucet that you get at a campground or at your house. Now this does have a pressure regulator built into it as well. And you're only going to want to run clean potable water into this system, as well as into your freshwater tank. And this is your freshwater tank fill right here. And it's gravity fed. Now it's going to be your potable water. Now we have our one lonely black tank dump right there. So just one tank to dump. That's right there. And you can see another shot of that stabilizer right there. Now we do still have the little skid plates to protect you in your departure angle. See if I can get a little bit better shot of the Dexter axle right there. And then even on the Bambi, we still get let's see if I can get in there and see that. Right there it is. Yep, see the hose? So that's the condensation coming out of the air conditioner. So we still get that. And then that's going to be your sewer hose storage right there. It goes all the way across. And let's move around a little bit to the front. Now this one, we just got this unit. I wanted to grab a video of it before we sell it and it gets going, because it is Airstream's most affordable travel trailer they currently make. Now I'm gonna grab the ladder and we're gonna climb up on top and see what the top looks like. Alrighty, we are on top now. I've got the 100-watt solar panel right there. We've got our Max Air outlet there. Now it does have the little connection point so you can add that Max Air cover and be able to have that open as you're going down the road. You've got your HD antenna right there. Now that front little thing, that's gonna be the Max Air for the shower. Now you've got your solar inlet right there. We've got our Dometic AC and then the solar. A question I'm always asked is, can you add more solar? There's not a whole lot of room to add solar really on this unit. Let's see what the back looks like. Now one thing I noticed, this has got to be lower because it doesn't have the ducted AC, so it doesn't have that hump that we're used to seeing really on Airstream for a while now. You can see, well, no, you can't see it over there, it's too far away, but we call it the bobble or the hump. So it's humpless because it's not ducted. So that hump was added in 2015 to account for the duct system. Now this does have the white roof, so it's that baked on enamel coating, which I really like. They don't do that on the base camp, which really surprises me. I'm glad they do it on the Bambi. That's going to really help reduce some of the solar energy and heat that comes off of the sun. Now, one of your seal connections that you're going to want to pay attention to on an Airstream is right there going across the front. That's one that you're going to want to check, you know, maybe once a year, I would say at least, just to make sure that's not drying up and starting to crack. Once it starts to crack or it becomes dry, you're going to want to replace that and put a whole new coating on. All right, now I'm at the back side, just coming from that back corner. You've got the AC unit there, and that really comes all the way back to the rear cap here. There's a little bit of room there. You might be able to put a small solar panel right there, like a 50 watt, but there's not a ton of room. Like really the 100 watt is like the max amount you could probably put on a unit this size. But you do have that, that front expansion where you can add some solar off that the front tongue there and extend your stay a little bit that way. But that's the top of the 16RB Bambi. What do you think? All right, folks, we have made it to the end of Airstream's most adorable, shortest, lightest travel trailer they currently make. Now, tell me in the comments what you think of the Bambi, the 16RB, and then the whole Bambi line. I think it's great for the industry. I think it's great for Airstream that we have something at this price point that you can jump into and take a weekend and go out travel, go out RVing, go to a campground, go to an Airstream rally. I love it. I love this line. Like I told you, this is one I'd love to own one of these one day. Now, if you have any questions about the Bambi, feel free to drop down in the comments, leave a comment in there, or you can go to the description. My contact information is right there. Give me a call, shoot me an email, that's fine. Or if you'd like to come by the store, our team would love to help you answer any questions, show you around Airstream. Also, I want to thank everyone who has subscribed. I really do appreciate that, and I notice that every time somebody subscribes, everybody who likes the videos, and then everybody who comments, I really do appreciate that. And it's been awesome getting to meet you guys, especially at the shows and at the store, just kind of around. We're definitely going to see me more at rallies, I hope. And hey, other than that, I think that's about it.